What is the correct multiple listing service in Queens? Where should you list your home if you are selling a property in Queens? I'm Nick at Houseit. We'll demystify this topic in today's video. We can save you money if you're buying, selling, or renting in Queens, anywhere in New York City, Long Island, the Hudson Valley, or South Florida. You can learn how by visiting houseit.com. That's Houseit with an A. So let's get started. So what is the correct MLS or multiple listing service in Queens? Well, the answer is not as straightforward as we'd like. Unlike other parts of the country where there's one clear dominant MLS per region, here in New York City Metro and in Queens, there are actually multiple different MLS and or what we'll simply call broker databases. We have, of course, the RLS. This is the REBNY listing service, which is operated by the Real Estate Board of New York. Now, this database is a little bit more Manhattan-centric, a little bit more of a focus in, say, Brownstone, Brooklyn, but it does overlap very clearly into Queens. So you do need to list in the RLS. However, a listing in the RLS alone is not adequate for a property in Queens. This is because there is an additional broker database called the One Key MLS, which was formerly known as the Long Island MLS prior to its merger with the Hudson Valley MLS. So the collective name now is the One Key MLS. So if you're in Queens, you do also need to have your property listed in the One Key MLS. So just to recap, you need to be in both the RLS, the Revenue Listing Service, as well as the One Key MLS if your property is located in Queens. So if you are watching this video and you're thinking about hiring an agent, you need to ask them what MLS they will be listing your property in, and make sure you get a very clear answer. One of the best ways to verify what MLS they'll put your property in is to simply ask them for an example of one of their current listings, and then simply to Google this address and check and see what you're going to find. You may very well find the source of the listing. For example, if it syndicates to Zillow, at the bottom of the listing, usually right below the listing description, it might say source, for example, One Key MLS. So this is a great way to check and make sure that your agent will actually be properly syndicating your home to both One Key and the RLS. Now, if you are looking to go the route of a flat fee MLS listing, we highly encourage you to be very selective and to steer clear of any sort of generic or national type of flat fee MLS companies that don't specify clearly that you'll be put in both the RLS and the One Key MLS. If you see any sort of landing page that just simply says, quote, your local MLS, you should run for the hills, because your local MLS to them, to a generic company that's not based here in New York, might be to put you, for example, in the New York State MLS, which has little to no relevance for properties in Queens. Here at Houseit, we do offer a One Key MLS flat fee listing service. We call this our Houseit Agent Assisted FSBO service. You can learn more and sign up by visiting houseit.com. And unique to Houseit, we do not charge any money upfront for the listing, so it's completely free to list your property in the One Key MLS. We only charge a small flat fee if and only if you close. So if for whatever reason you cancel early, you delist, it doesn't sell, doesn't matter what the reason is, if there's no closing, you don't owe us anything. If you have questions, give us a shout. We'd love to chat. team@houseit.com or 888-494-8258. I'm Nick at Houseit. We can also help you save money if you're buying here in New York City with our Houseit Buyer Closing Credit Service, which is also available in Long Island, the Hudson Valley, as well as South Florida. We hope to see you on the next one.